Shalom and good evening. Greetings from Jerusalem, Jane. Tonight it's going to be a quick update to let you know what happened here in Israel. One of the things that I like about Facebook is the feature memories. You can go down and look, what did I share and post 1 year ago, 2 years, 4 years, 10 years ago. And I was looking at it today. 1 year ago today I was sharing about how 3 Arab youth was robbing houses, Jewish houses down in the Negev. And one Friday night, as Shabbat was coming to an end and a Jewish family had gone to bed, 2 of these Arab teenagers broke into a house and they entered a bedroom where a 10-year-old Jewish girl was sleeping and her brother was also there. And one of them brutally and savagely raped a 10-year-old Jewish girl. Luckily, he was caught, taken to court, and every time they were in the court, he was just laughing, also admitting that he would never have raped a Muslim girl. She was raped for being Jewish, and he only got 5.5 years in prison, which brought this whole country to a complete outrage. Last year, I also shared about that there had been a horrendous terror attack close to the city of Ariel, where Palestinian Arab terrorists just went on a complete rampage. And he killed 3 Jewish fathers. One of them was standing at a gas station pumping gas into his car. And this terrorist with a huge knife came up from behind and just jammed that knife into the back of the neck of this father. I will never forget that video. I shared it. So 11 children lost their father that one night. 4 years ago, Israel was savagely being attacked by Palestinian Islamic Jihad, who was firing hundreds and hundreds of rockets into Israel. People were literally living in their bomb shelters. So that's, every day when I'm looking at my memories going down, there has either been a terror attack, there's been a rocket attack, there's been a stabbing attack. It's just unbelievable. So this morning, as I was getting ready to go to an appointment, all of a sudden I can see there's been a terror attack today. So between the Gush Etzion and going into Jerusalem, there's a crossing where you stop and the police they're checking your car. And a car with 3 Hamas terrorists were on their way to carry out a major terror attack in Jerusalem. They were having weapons, they were having axes, and as they are approaching this checkpoint where the soldiers are, this car just rose suspicion. And the soldiers is calling this car out, and the terrorists ran out of the car and they started shooting at the border police officers who were stationing there. And the 3 terrorists was killed. They were neutralized. And unfortunately, it was just published now. A young border police officer, his name was Abraham, only 20 years old, from Haifa, was brutally murdered in that terror attack. These terrorists belonging to Hamas was on their way to Jerusalem to commit a much bigger terror attack. One of them, his father, was a Hamas leader. He was released in the Gilad Shalit deal, where Israel got one soldier who was held captive in Gaza for 5 years. They got him back, but in the exchange, Israel had to release more than 1,000 terrorists. And one of those terrorists was the father of one of those terrorists who committed the act today. Another Hamas terrorist from today, his uncle was also a Hamas terrorist with a lot of Jewish blood on his hands before he was killed. So these were members of some high-profile, high-ranking Hamas families who wanted to go and murder as many Jewish innocent civilians here in Jerusalem today. So we are very grateful they were stopped. But my deepest condolences to Abraham's family, the young border police officer who was brutally murdered in that terror attack today. The Israeli Defense Forces continue to move forward and taking ground inside the Gaza Strip. They also took the harbor in the Gaza Strip. Israel is providing more and more intel from the Israeli military of Shifa Hospital, how Hamas was in that hospital. They found a computer with photos of the hostages taking after they were taking into the Gaza Strip. They are finding more and more weapons and tunnel shafts. So Israel is proving again and again and again what the military has known and what we have known for a long time, that they are using the hospitals as places where they have their terror activities, something that Israel has known for a long time. If Israel had gotten into that Shifa hospital a couple of days earlier, they would have arrested some of all of these hostages, arrested a lot of these terrorists, but they managed to escape also with the help of civilians and the staff in that hospital. If you follow my social media, you'll have seen that I posted a video today. It was recorded. It was an interview with children, how and what they experienced on October 7. One of them said, my grandparents was murdered. Another one of them was hiding in the bomb shelters. Hamas was trying to force their way into their bomb shelters. So these were children whose grandparents was murdered, held hostages, and one of the boys was saying, when the Israeli soldiers finally came to rescue us and we came outside the house, there were dead bodies, and we saw things that children is not supposed to see. Absolutely horrendous. Please go find that video on all my social media. Please continue to pray for the families of all the hostages. Please continue to pray for all the hostages who has been in the Gaza Strip, held hostage down in these dungeons of tunnels for nearly 6 weeks. A woman has given birth in captivity. A young Israeli mother has given birth in captivity. Where is the reaction from the world? The Israeli foreign minister traveled to Red Cross. He met with the leader of Red Cross and he says, where are you? What are you doing? Why are you not pushing enough? Why haven't you been in the Gaza Strip and attended these hostages? See what conditions are they living in? What conditions are they in? So yeah, please continue to pray for all of these hostages and also for their families who is hurting deeply, deeply. They don't know. I saw there was an Israeli mother. She was being interviewed yesterday. Her 12-year-old son, her 16-year-old daughter, and her husband, all three of them are held captive inside the Gaza Strip right now. There's another family. Sorry for my hair. I just took it out of a hair clip. There's another family. 7 members of the same family is held hostage inside the Gaza Strip. You can't even fathom the horror that they are going through. So bring them home. Bring them home. So that was just a quick update from me, what's going on here. Pray for the Israeli Defense Forces, who is still against Hamas, ISIS in the Gaza Strip, in heavy fighting against all of them. But Israel is taking more and more ground, and that is a good thing. They need to eradicate each and every one of these ISIS, Hamas terrorists, so they can never, ever, ever attack the Holy Land again. Thank you for watching. I also quickly want to mention that 2 years ago on my Facebook, I forgot to say that, I was sharing about what kind of started my whole connection with Israel. My mother and I was traveling to Copenhagen. Yasser Arafat, a horrible terrorist leader, was being welcomed in the Danish parliament, and my mom and I traveled 6 hours by train, welcoming him, standing in the Danish parliament, in front of the Danish parliament with 2 Israeli flags. And I will never forget, you know, when his entourage arrived, the sky over Denmark in Copenhagen just turned pitch black, and the atmosphere was so evil because the portal from hell opened with Yasser Arafat and all of his terrorist friends who arrived, and it started pouring rain. And God just really spoke to me that day. When it comes to Israel, it's a battle against God and Satan. It's a battle against good and evil. It's a battle against light and darkness. That's the only way you can describe it. That's why you see people with the hate from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, and the call for genocide of the Jewish people. So yeah, I have been doing this for a long time. I really have. So when I post this video, I will share a link to the blog I wrote about me facing Yasser Arafat. I will also share a link to my Telegram channel. I really encourage you to follow that for the latest updates. Bye.